My name is Elliot, and I'm a senior content marketing manager at Booyah Advertising. Today, I am very excited to discuss the state of content marketing, 5 building blocks for unified content in a fragmented ecosystem. Here's what we'll cover during today's presentation. The first piece is to look at the state of content marketing today. We'll explore recent changes, challenges, and areas of opportunity. Then we'll talk about getting to know your content family and explore what that really means, define our terms, and discuss ways that you can use your content family to accelerate your content marketing efforts. We'll then discuss what it means to embrace the subject matter expert. And we will learn how to leverage those subject matter experts and their expertise to support your content creation. We will then look at target audiences and understand new audience segments, how to identify those, and discuss tactics to reach and engage them. Then we will put it all together and talk about your content marketing strategy and what that really means. So we are really excited. Let's dive into it. Today's most successful content marketers are dedicated to building trust, and for good reason. Trust is more important than ever before because it's the new measure of success. Trust drives business growth. Consider these statistics. 62% of people who report highly trusting a brand buy almost exclusively from that brand over competitors. Of customers who highly trust a brand, 88% have bought again from that brand, and 73% have tried a new product or service from that brand. Also, businesses can't afford to lose trust. A recent study found that brands that broke customer trust due to scandals lost 20 to 56% of their market capitalization. The message here is clear. Building trust with your customers is one of the most important things that you can do for your business. And your customers will reward you for it because trust is lacking everywhere else. This year's annual Edelman report reports that businesses are now the only trusted institution, trusted more than NGOs, government, and even media. Not only is trust declining across those major institutions, trust is also fractured in our day-to-day lives. Consider more of these statistics. 60% of Americans surveyed by Deloitte don't trust others to social distance. False claims about the efficacy of vaccines undermines vaccine confidence. And only 38% of consumers believe that businesses are successfully putting people before profits during the time of COVID-19. The growing importance of trust extends to all digital marketing channels and disciplines, and it has positioned content marketing as a key driver of customer trust and an essential component of overall business success. Successful content marketers recognize this, and they focus their efforts on producing excellent content because excellent content is trustworthy content. They produce content that is relevant for their target audience, supporting their audience's specific needs, engaging readers by leveraging their organization's expertise, their organization's authority, and unique experiences and perspectives to demonstrate their business's credibility, authority, and to ultimately build trust. Now, that's how successful content marketers have always approached content creation, right? Early examples of content marketing include the Michelin Guide, first published in 1900. This 400-page guide helped readers maintain their car and provided detailed restaurant and lodging reviews to assist readers while they traveled. Those same qualities are still highly valued, if not even more. Consider this quote from an article published in 2009 in the Harvard Business Journal. Brands that truly understand their audience will always succeed during periods of instability. The main reason for this is that credibility, support, expertise, and authority, those all become increasingly important to people when circumstances change. And circumstances are definitely changing today. Now, those familiar with content marketing and SEO will likely recognize several of those qualities from a different source, Google. The first paragraph of Google's extensive search quality guidelines states this: search results should help people. They should provide authoritative and trustworthy information, not lead people astray with misleading content. Now, these guidelines go into even further detail and emphasize the importance of expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness, or EAT. And EAT is one of the most important concepts for SEO and content marketing, because it's what Google uses to evaluate the overall quality of online content. Because your customers and Google value the same content characteristics, your content needs to fulfill both their needs. Excellent content achieves this. And so today's excellent content, well, it's SEO optimized, it's relevant, valuable, brings in different authoritative sources, and it's engaging. It includes multimedia, and of course, it's personalized and used by businesses to build trust with the intent of driving their business forward. To be successful with your content marketing efforts, you need the ability to consistently produce this type of excellent content at scale. What's interesting is this approach to content creation, it's necessary for success, but it doesn't guarantee success anymore. And that's what is so different about today's content marketing landscape. Here's what's changed. The first big piece is that content marketing is more competitive. The percentage of marketers actively using content marketing in 2021 is 82%. That's up 70% from last year. Also consider this: 70 million posts are published on WordPress every month. That's a ton of content. The global content marketing industry forecast will surpass 107 million by 2026, from 36 million in 2018, growing at a CAGR of 14.3%. That's according to marketing research analysis done by ResearchDive. Content marketing is also stretched wider than ever. 89% of content marketers used blog posts in their content creation strategy in 2020. Blogs are a basic tool, but in the last year, video has become the most commonly used format in content marketing, overtaking both blogs and infographics. There are also more platforms for distribution, channels for amplification, and more new platforms emerge every week. That's everything that we need to take in consideration. And that also means that content marketing is more misunderstood. Consider some of these statistics as evidence. 31% of B2B organizations did not document their content marketing strategy last year. And this is a key behavior of organizations with successful content marketing programs, so why aren't more doing it? 39% of businesses do not measure their content marketing ROI. And while generating leads is the most popular content goal, nearly 70% of content is made to attract audiences at the top of the funnel. And so there's less focus at that bottom of the funnel content to drive those leads. All of these factors contribute into why content marketing is more difficult. Here are some of the most common challenges. 63% cited content creation challenges, 51% reported strategy issues, and a third indicated content distribution issues, and another third reported content measurement challenges. Now, many businesses engaged in content marketing are really struggling to navigate this fragmented ecosystem. There are so many elements to consider, tactics to execute, data to explore, platforms to use to facilitate that content creation, that many teams are getting lost. Marketing professionals should pause, reconsider their current content marketing program before investing more time, energy, and budget into content marketing. Some of the most common questions that I hear from clients include, what topic should I write about? Who will create my content? Where should I publish my content? And how should I measure the success of my content marketing efforts? They'll also ask, what type of content should I create? Now, your business needs a unifying content marketing strategy, and that will answer all of those questions for you, because a successful one will tie all the different components of excellent content together. So here are 4 building blocks to get you there. The first building block is creating and expanding your content family. Content creation is a major obstacle for many organizations, and that's preventing progress for many businesses' content marketing efforts. However, most organizations, they aren't setting up their content marketing for success. Here's what you need to understand. Content creation, it's a team sport. However, many organizations limit their content marketing programs to very small teams. A survey from Content Marketing Institute found that most companies, even large organizations with more than 1,000 employees, are most likely to have content teams of 2 to 5. Nearly 25% of all respondents have a content marketing team of 1, just 1. And 32% have no full-time dedicated employee. Most of these small teams also serve the entire organization. Now, this may make sense for companies with fewer than, say, 100 employees, but 52% of medium-sized organizations still use that small team to serve their entire organization. And over time, this results in silos and inefficient content marketing. Here's how I've personally seen it happen. The content team will struggle to build and strengthen and nurture relationships that they would then want to leverage to support their efforts. For example, the content team receives requests from different people at different levels of the company with different requests. They can't meet all those needs, and so some of those employees are left in the dark there. The content team will also encounter frequent progress blockers. So for example, the content team requests a meeting with the sales team because they're really interested in developing sales enablement content to support the sales team, but sales can't meet until next week. They have too many deals to close. So sales enablement isn't included in that quarter's content marketing strategy. Here's another example. The content team does not have a clear and consistent direction. What happens is that internal stakeholders will announce new departmental goals that change the content marketing strategy before it even has the time needed to show the results that it's aiming for. Now, to solve these problems and to improve productivity and efficiency, you need to create and expand your content family. What do I mean by this? Well, Bill Backer, in his book, The Care and Feeding of Ideas, he brings up this really interesting concept called the idea family. What he explains in his book is that the idea family consists of many different kinds of people representing many different skills and interests, connected to each other, not by shared genes, but by a mutual attraction to an idea at some stage of its development. That's exactly what a content family is. It's a content team's network of people that are contributing to and invested in the overall success of the organization's content marketing program. The content marketing family is how you can scale your content marketing program. So here's how to get started with creating a content family. First, make a list of every stakeholder in your content marketing program. Now, a stakeholder is anybody that's currently involved in the development of your brand's content marketing strategy, the execution of that strategy, and anybody that's invested in the overall success of your content marketing program. Those stakeholders are going to become your content family. Now, common members of a content family, those may include the content marketing manager on the content team that's responsible for developing the business's overall content marketing strategy and oversees the content pipeline as that content moves towards distribution. Then there's also the director or VP of marketing that is defining the business's overall marketing goal and works closely with that content marketing manager to make sure that those are aligned. Content writers that the content marketing manager is assigning content briefs to so they can create the content. Those are definitely part of the content family too. And then there may also be people like the communications manager that distributes the content to external channels and amplifies it so that they can support the organization's messaging. There's the SEO manager that collaborates with the content team to optimize content for search engine, as well as using it in their link building efforts. There may also be graphic designer that is working with the content marketing manager to create visual assets to support any messaging. Ultimately, the makeup of your content family is dependent on your team structure and organizational hierarchy, but use this list here to help you complete this exercise. And if you're struggling to figure out who belongs on your content family, ask yourself these questions. Who does the content team report to? Who's tracking that success? Who do the content team need engagement from to create content? What relationships can the content team leverage to amplify content and maximize its value? Once you and your content team have created and identified your content family, this next piece is to assign them roles. Here are the roles that you should include in your content family. First is the content strategist. And the content strategist role is to develop the content marketing strategy and ensure its overall success. Then there's the content creator or creators. And these are the people that are going to be responsible for actually creating the content. They're the writer, pen down to paper, headphones on, typing away at the keyboard. Make it clear who the content creator is in your content family, or you risk letting too many cooks into the kitchen. You should also identify any content reviewers. Ask yourself who's going to actually review the content, who needs to review it. List those stakeholders and make it clear who the authority is during that content creation process so that you can streamline any content efforts. If you have too many content reviewers, you will never finish a piece of content. And if you don't have anybody reviewing content, there's nobody to catch any red flags like grammar or spelling errors. You should also put in content support into your content family. That's really everybody else. Bundle them under that category, that content support. They're there to ensure your efforts are successful and to hold others accountable. There's also the content amplifier. Who's amplifying the content and getting the most value out of what's published? Who's increasing the content's visibility and helping it expand its potential reach? Assign anybody that's supporting content amplification this role. Now, complex programs require additional content roles, but these roles are essential to every successful content marketing framework. After assigning the roles of your content family, let them know that they're part of it. It's exciting. Set proper expectations about what their role is in that family and what contributions are needed from them. Confirm they're bought in. Now, these are probably familiar roles to the content team and yourself and responsibilities that everybody may already be fulfilling, but it is so important to communicate this to all stakeholders so that you can get proper expectations and get their buy-in. Doing this will ultimately help you create your content family. To elevate your content family to its fullest potential, you should focus ongoing efforts on expanding your content family and leveraging their roles. So here are several tactics that you can use yourself to grow that content family. Consider partners that your organization is actively working with, that you can collaborate on during content creation. If there's an overlap, see if they're interested. Include relevant topics in your content marketing strategy that they could contribute to, confirm their participation, and then integrate them into your content creation process. Connect with your organization's employees on LinkedIn. See if they have any past activity of people sharing any content that they publish. Does anybody have a passion for content? Those are the people that you really want to get to know and nurture those relationships. Find out if they're interested in becoming a content creator in your content family. You can also create a new channel in your company's internal communications platform that is dedicated to content amplification, and use that to notify the channel whenever new content is published. What's really helpful here is to create social posts that those members can easily copy and paste on their own social media profiles to promote that content without requiring heavy lift there. Include frequent posters as content amplifiers in your content family. Let's wrap it up. By creating and expanding your content family, you'll avoid many of the constraints of a small content team, be more efficient with your content marketing efforts, and ultimately produce a larger volume of impactful content that builds trust with your customers and target audience. Now, this next building block elevates your content family to the next level, and it's one step you can't miss. Let's talk about embracing the subject matter expert in your content marketing. If you aren't using subject matter experts to fuel your content marketing efforts already, you are foregoing the opportunity to create really unique and inspiring content that achieves your content goals. And there is plenty of reason to leverage those subject matter experts to produce this type of thought leadership content. Almost 60% of business decision makers said that thought leadership directly led to giving their business to an organization. And here's another reason why your content needs subject matter experts. Really, those subject matter experts contribute to EAT. They demonstrate their expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness to fulfill those basic requirements. And now is the time to engage the C-suite at your organization and other leaders to support your content creation efforts. The reason why is because over the last 2 years, C-suite executives have all seen a significant drop in confidence. You can restore their confidence by providing them the opportunity to showcase their unique insights and perspective with a very, very interested audience. With that in mind, here are 4 tactics that you can use to leverage those subject matter experts in your content marketing program. The big one here is to publish thought leadership content. That includes blog posts, guest contributed articles, which are articles aligned in the target publication that's aligned with your target audience. You can also produce videos, and that's huge as well. And there's tons of opportunity. Repurpose any of that knowledge sharing into video content. You should also apply to awards and speaking engagements and include any content published by them in email signatures. Of course, there are other subject matter experts here to include in your content marketing program as well. Those include influencers and industry subject matter experts, departmental leaders, content partners, colleagues. One of our clients has done a wonderful job at using their partners and their brand ambassadors to have a whole plethora of subject matter experts that allow them to create such a diverse variety of content. Leveraging subject matter experts will improve the quality of your content, add more value to readers, fulfill the requirements of Google's search quality guidelines so that it really ranks well and performs in organic search, and ultimately build more trust with your target audience. The next building block to unifying your content efforts is centered around rethinking your target audience and how you're currently reaching them and what more you could do to engage them. Now, every content marketer knows the importance of target audiences, but few organizations are really thinking about their target audiences in the best way possible. Here's the problem. Expert content creators are producing excellent content and nobody is consuming it. It isn't achieving any goals. More than half of search queries don't end in a click anymore, and that is a huge problem. Where this relates to the target audience is that historically, the target audience defining your content marketing strategy is the same as your organization's customers. And so what this leads to is a very common approach for many marketers, where you'll define your target audience, you'll identify some of the different audience segments, you'll pick some of those, and then create audience personas. And then the content marketer will develop a content marketing strategy and produce content that is tailored to those specific personas. She'll include elements like key demographics, key psychographics, important problems that the content could solve for, as well as some basic content preferences, how they want their content to sound like. But this approach to defining your target audience, it downplays the importance of content distribution and amplification, and how amplification and the medium through which the message is distributed transforms that specific target audience. Amplification isn't optional anymore. It is a fundamental component of successful content marketing and needs to be included in your content marketing strategy, as well as pairing it to your target audience. Every content marketing strategy needs target audiences that complement and are paired with the preferred platforms of that audience segment. The reason why is because in today's landscape, the same target audience is fragmented into segments that prefer one platform over another. And if you aren't on that platform, you aren't going to reach or engage them. There are so many platforms, so let's pick a few. Let's start with YouTube. Here are some important statistics to consider. In 2021, there are approximately 1.86 billion YouTube users worldwide, up from 1.47 billion in 2017. 82% of people use YouTube as a source of entertainment, and in 2020, 62% of YouTube users in the US access the platform daily. The majority, 59%, of YouTube customers consist of males, while 41% are female. So there are specific types of content to create, of course. Videos. Those include educational courses, interviews, customer stories, educational series, and guides. What's interesting is how YouTube influences the target audience's content preferences on that platform. So here's some things that you can do. Make content entertaining by incorporating visuals, interactivity, and conversational. It doesn't need to be long. Focus on the series and quality. So here's how you can get started. Record conversations with the subject matter experts in your content family and publish a series of engaging educational videos based on those conversations. First, create an account for your brand. Follow relevant subreddits and search for any brand or product mentions. Reply to product reviews, any product questions, and use your relationship with the SME to host an Ask Me Anything event. And of course, I'll take any opportunity to talk about email. Here are important email statistics to keep in mind. 81% of B2B marketers say their most used form of content marketing is email newsletters. Marketers who use segmented campaigns note as much as a 760% increase in revenue. Brands that always include an A/B test in their emails generate an ROI of 48-1. Email is not a platform, it's a medium, but it is so important. And you should definitely create an email newsletter. So email really changes what those audiences' content preferences look like. Every piece of content that you distribute should be mobile friendly. What's interesting is nearly 1 in 5 email campaigns is not optimized for mobile devices. Your content should also be digestible with the goal of getting people to click through it so that they can then arrive at your website. Get started by creating that email newsletter. Promote your content. Use that to nurture relationships. So far, we have covered building blocks that you can use to get over some of those most important content creation challenges and distribution challenges. There are more problems facing content marketers, though, and we've laid the foundation to overcome those too. Here's how you can put all these pieces into building a unifying content marketing strategy. First, content marketing strategy is the most important component of content marketing, and it's also the most difficult. In SEMrush's State of Content Marketing report last year, almost 84% of survey respondents answered they have a content marketing strategy, but only 11% considered their strategy excellent. Now, the largest reason for this, in my experience, is because so many people are missing the right components. They don't have the right content marketing strategy framework to deliver the success and achieve their goals. Well, here's what you need to develop an excellent content marketing strategy. Start with your content goal, which is what you need to keep top of mind and what every piece of content should serve to achieve. Some of the example goals here include thought leadership, SEO, lead gen. You should also keep in mind your target audience. Segment your target audience and make sure that you're identifying those platforms as a defining characteristic of that target audience. That'll ultimately help you be more effective with your messaging. And you can really tailor the messaging by including content preferences. Use that to define your brand's overall content preferences and define specific preferences that are matched with the medium, that specific platform through which the message will be used and delivered. Also include success metrics, which are informed by your content goal. So for thought leadership, you would want to include some of those most important engagement metrics. SEO, organic traffic, and keyword rankings are definitely the best place to start. And for lead gen, ultimately, look at conversion goal completions. Of course, all of these should really be focused on what engagements are building trust. You'll also want to include content types in your content marketing strategy, and these are going to be informed by your content goal, your target audience, those content preferences, and the specific platform which you'll distribute that content on. You'll also want to include content roles. Now, that subject matter expert, that is going to be a key part of this. List your content family in your content marketing strategy and make sure to distribute that with the content marketing family that you'll be working with. That gets them really excited, and that allows you to set the best expectations and work together in a really effective way. Make sure that you include your content creation process in your content strategy as well. Now, this is a tried and true process that has really worked well. Begin with topic ideation. Then move into knowledge sharing. And that's when you're working with that subject matter expert through an interview to contribute to the content topics that you're working on. After that knowledge sharing phase, move into content creation. Work with the content creators and make sure that you're creating that content that's going to align with the vision. Before then, sending that content to those content reviewers. After that, complete a final edit, making sure that that content is the best shape possible before moving into distribution. And that's where the content strategist and content amplifiers are going to work really close together. Now, speaking of content amplification, the best content marketers will repurpose that content so that it aligns with their target audience's content preferences on the platform. And the most successful content marketing programs will develop a content marketing that facilitates both that repurposing as well as that compelling messaging through the subject matter experts. You should also include an optimization blueprint. How do you plan to optimize that content in a duplicable way? Finally, that's when you'll want to end with your topic ideas. Here are some of the key takeaways that we've discussed today. Businesses drive business growth using trust. Content marketing builds that trust. You should create a content family to establish your content marketing program's legitimacy and garner their support. Expand your content family using subject matter experts and leverage their authority and expertise to form new relationships and strengthen existing relationships with your readers. Prioritize the platforms that you're including in your content marketing that you'll use to reach and engage that target audience. Leverage the support of your content family and subject matter experts to develop a comprehensive and unifying content marketing strategy. And make sure, of course, that you're keeping those specific audience segments in mind, as well as the platforms that you'll use to achieve your overall content goal. And now we'll cover some of the common questions that we hear from our community, our clients, and those actively interested in doing content marketing. So this first question is, my company's C-suite, they aren't available. How can I find subject matter experts? And that's a great question. You definitely can't force anybody to engage in content creation. So if you can't get in touch with the C-suite executives at your organization, look towards your colleagues for support. That's something that we've done at Booyah in our own content marketing program and seen a lot of success with. We have different individuals contributing to content creation, from those at the director level all the way to those that may be coordinators and just getting started in their career. And it provides them a platform to elevate their voice while supporting our content marketing strategy. What should I do if I don't currently have a content team? That's a great question too. If you don't have a content team right now, you should Look at what your priorities are for this upcoming year. Do you have the resources to establish one and hire new employees? If not, that's when you should look to an agency for support and consider partnering with one that's going to support your goals. It's clear in today's landscape, you need to have a content partner or content team. So any way that you can make sure that you have one that's aligned with your best interests is absolutely a pursuit worth going towards. Okay, so this next question that we received is, how long should a piece of content be to perform well for SEO? And that's a really great question, one that there isn't a definitive answer for. What we find in our experience works best is content that is anywhere from 1,400 words to 1,700 words. That performs best for SEO. But ultimately, it depends on what keyword you're targeting and what the intent of a user searching for that target keyword is. If it's more educational, then a long form piece of content would serve that user's need best. But if it's a quick question that could be answered in, say, 500 words, then there's no need to create a massive piece of content. Ultimately, what's going to perform best is what matches the user's needs. How much does a typical piece of content cost to produce? Well, the cost varies, right? So you can pay very low for a piece of content, say $100. And that's content that'll be created, written in under an hour. There's spelling, grammar mistakes, and it's going to require a lot of input on your side to get it to where it needs to be. You can also pay upwards of $1,000 and even more for an excellent piece of content. And at Booyah, that's certainly what we recommend for our clients because that is what delivers the highest level of success. This next question comes from somebody who explained to us that their blog has lost a lot of traffic over time, and they're interested in our recommendation on how to proceed. The first step here is to look at your publishing cadence. When's the last time that you published content? If it's been a long time, that's probably why you're losing that traffic and performance is declining. You need to be consistently publishing content. I'd also look at the last time that you optimized that content and how often you're revisiting the performance of that content to identify opportunities to optimize and target additional keywords or make changes that are going to help you be more competitive in organic search. Those are the top two considerations as that traffic declines that you should first put at the top of your mind. And from there, you'll have a good direction forward. Can you get us published in Forbes or Harvard Business Review? That's a great question, one that I've certainly received a lot from clients. And the answer to that is you definitely can't guarantee the placement of any guest contributed article. That being said, there's certainly opportunity to pursue those types of content opportunities, but it really comes down to your content marketing strategy and what your goal is. If your goal is to get in the largest publications that are currently in today's landscape, we can definitely help, right? And it'll require a lot of time, effort to get the content where it needs to be for the level of content that those types of publications expect. We can definitely do it. At the same time, there's certainly a lot of value to be had for targeting more niche publications, ones that don't have quite as high of a readership. But what we find is that those readers are a lot more engaged. And so for a lead gen goal, for example, those are the types of publications that you would want to target because those are the readers who are more likely to click through and learn more about the actual author. A blog feels cliche for my brand. Do I really need a blog? My answer to that is it depends, right? It depends on what product or service you're selling. It depends on what industry you are in. But if your goal here with your website is to maintain your online presence and drive organic traffic to your website so that you aren't paying for every click, then you should have a blog. Now, that is not for everybody, right? So some brands, some industries, they might not need a blog, but you should definitely have some guide or resource or assets that you can use and publish on your website to drive that type of inbound traffic and gain that attraction and attention from your target audience. All right, this next one is a really great question. Someone asks, how do you approach thin content? And the answer to that really is that thin content is something that I don't encounter because the content that we're focused on producing, it is that excellent content. And I'll tell you right now that excellent content isn't thin content. If there's an opportunity for you to expand on content in a meaningful way so that you can educate your readers, that is certainly something that you should do. And when you have that goal at the top of mind, we want to create excellent content, you really won't ever be in a situation where you are continuing to come across thin content. And that covers it. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's presentation. We really appreciate it and are really hopeful that you learned a lot about how to improve your content marketing efforts. If you have any questions though, please, let's get in touch. And for more information about how you can develop your content marketing strategy to ensure your overall business success, you can contact Booyah Advertising. Thanks.